Good morning, students and friends. Today we'll be looking at very important topic, tips on how to solve physics problem, or you can put it tips on how to approach physics problem. The truth is that physics is a subject that involves calculations, and many students are always scared, afraid of this part of physics, which is calculation. So we want to educate students and parents to encourage their children that this aspect of physics is doable. Most of the times it's because of the background they have in physics that makes them to be afraid of this aspect of physics. As a matter of fact, many students don't want to hear about this. But if you are a science student, you have no option than to face this physics. Most at times, students from the secondary level, because of maybe lack of teachers in the secondary school, they are always afraid when this subject is mentioned. Students in the tertiary institution, some of them are studying physics by chance. What I mean by chance is that they didn't really want to study the course, but maybe they were rejected from other courses like engineering, computer science, computer engineering, and so on. And they found themselves in physics. That's what I mean by studying physics by chance. And they are having this problem. So let's look at how we can solve physics problems. Number one is you need to understand the problem. Take your time, read the question, understand what the question is talking about. That is number one. Many students are always rushing, want to be the first to come out of the exam hall. No, that is not the way to go. Take your time, read the question, understand what the question is talking about. Sometimes you can even visualize the problem by sketching it. It gives you a better understanding of what to do. So by the time you do this, you'll be able to identify the knowns and unknowns. Those parameters that are given and those that are not given. That's what we mean by the knowns and unknowns. And then you are good to go. Number two is choose the right tools. You know, one thing about this calculation is if you don't understand the theory behind that topic. For example, if you are talking about motion on the straight line, you need to understand certain concepts like displacement, velocity, acceleration, and so on. You need to understand the equations of motion. Which of the equations will you use to calculate distance, and so on. And like I said, you cannot memorize these equations. Once you know how to derive them, you can always recall them anytime. So number two is to choose the right tools, the right equation, the right formula to use. So by the time you choose this, and then you'll be able to relate it to what you are asked to calculate. Number three is to solve the problem, the methods you want to use, step-by-step approach. Physics is not all about the answer. It's about how you have gotten to the answer. Many students are always, let me not put it smart, they want to be crafty. They want to copy from other students. And as a result of that, they jump some steps. Let me tell you that if you you jump certain steps and you arrive at an answer, you may not get all the marks. It's not about the answer, it's about steps. Sometimes you may miss the answer, but you get most of your marks from that particular question. So I want to let you know that it's not about the answer, it's about the steps you have taken to solve the problem. So if you identify the equation to use, I take step substitute, you do the necessary evaluation, and then you have your answer. That is it. Then you pay attention to the units. Units are very, very important in physics. Sometimes you have the correct answer, but if the unit is not right, you not get all your marks. So units are very important. Sometimes even in the objective part of the questions, the answers are always very close. For example, if you are asked to calculate maybe force, and the answer is 5 Newton, maybe option A will give you 5 Newton, option B 5 joules, and so on. So they want to test your ability to know if you really are familiar with the units or you know what you are doing. So after solving, get the right unit. Then number 4, check your answers. Check your answers. Verify the units. Check and reevaluate your answers. Check whether they are correct. That is one thing about solving problem. After solving a particular problem, you have to check what you have done. Is it really correct? Are you in line? Did you follow the right procedure? And if you check, if you are wrong, you will not think of another method, another idea on how to approach that problem. Then number 5, you seek help. Always challenge your teachers, your lecturers. Many students don't ask. If you are given maybe an assignment, an exam, even after the exams, if you are not satisfied with the way you solve the question, you can go back to the lecturer. Let me know how, seek his opinion on how best you can approach that question. This thing is, study is not just about passing exams. It's about knowing it. Even if you didn't pass that exam and you are able to know how to solve those questions, next time you can approach the questions better, in a better way, and you'll be able to pass your exams. It's not just about the exams, it's about knowing the subjects, knowing the course. So even if you don't get it after, even if it's after the exams, make sure you ask your teacher or your lecturer how best to handle problem. And then number six, start start with the questions that you are familiar with, the questions that you know them better. It helps. Most students don't manage their time properly, and it affects their performance. Some students will stay on a particular question for so long, trying to see how he or she can solve it. But my advice, the best way to go is always start with the ones you know better. By the time you solve those ones, later if there's time, you can go back and see how you can solve these other ones. Time management is very key in the exams. Even if it is not exam, assuming you are practicing on your own, you still need to time yourself. It is very important because sometimes you will be faced with a situation, exam situation, where you are properly timed, and if you don't time yourself when you are practicing on your own, you will not be time conscious. So time management is very, very important as regards solving a problem or physics problems. So to recap, take these steps. Number one, understand the problem, read the question carefully, understand what you're supposed to do. Number two, choose the right equation, the right tools. Number three, solve the problem using the right methodology, step-by-step approach. Number four, check your answers, verify your unit. Number five, practice and seek help. Or number six, and to answer with the question you are familiar with, and with that it will help you to manage your time properly. Thank you.